Shinobu, in Japanese, it means endurance and perseverance. These two qualities define the life of Miyamoto Musashi, Japan's most legendary swordsman. But Musashi's greatest victories didn't come from the sharpness of his sword, they came from his unbreakable mind. Musashi fought over 60 duels and never lost a single one. But his journey wasn't defined by easy victories, it was marked by hardships, solitude, and lessons learned through blood and sweat. In today's world, filled with its own battles, whether they are distractions, failures, or self-doubt, Musashi's mental toughness holds lessons for all of us. So, how did Musashi build a mind of steel? And how can you do the same? Let's dive into his story. Musashi's path to greatness didn't begin in comfort. Born into a violent and chaotic era, he lost his parents at a young age and had to fend for himself in the lawless provinces of Japan. But instead of letting these early tragedies break him, Musashi used them as fuel. At the age of 13, Musashi fought his first duel against a skilled samurai named Arima Kihei. Armed with nothing more than a wooden staff, he killed his opponent with a single blow. Musashi's victory wasn't about brute strength, it was about mental resilience. In that moment, he learned that a sharp mind could overpower even a skilled swordsman. Imagine yourself at 13, facing a deadly opponent. Musashi stood firm, not because he was the strongest, but because he was unshaken by fear. As Musashi grew older, he realized that true strength didn't come from just physical training. He knew that to master the way of the sword, he had to first master the way of the mind. So, while other samurai sought fame and glory, Musashi chose a different path, one of solitude. For years, Musashi wandered Japan, living in caves and remote mountains. During this time, he perfected his swordsmanship, but more importantly, he learned to control his mind. Musashi knew that in solitude, he could confront his greatest enemy, himself. Think about it, in today's world, how often are we alone with our own thoughts? Musashi embraced solitude because he knew that it was only by silencing the noise of the world that he could truly hear his inner strength. One of Musashi's most famous battles occurred on a small island where he faced Sasaki Kojiro, another renowned swordsman. This duel wasn't just a test of skill, it was a test of mental mastery. Arriving hours late, Musashi rowed to the island using a wooden oar, carving it into a makeshift sword as he approached. Kojiro, armed with his signature weapon, the Nodachi, a long, deadly sword, was enraged by Musashi's tardiness. But Musashi remained calm, composed, and utterly focused. In the heat of battle, Musashi entered what he called the state of mushin, or no mind. His mind was clear of emotion, distraction, or fear. While Kojiro attacked with fury, Musashi, wielding nothing but his wooden sword, struck down his opponent with a single, decisive blow. It wasn't his weapon that won the duel, it was his mind. Can you imagine having that level of focus in your own life? A mind so clear and controlled that no obstacle, no opponent, can break your concentration? But Musashi wasn't always victorious. In his early years, he suffered defeat in the most unexpected place, not on the battlefield, but in the classroom. At 21, Musashi joined the Yoshioka family, a famous martial arts school in Kyoto. After a series of brutal duels, Musashi defeated two of the school's masters. But this victory made him a target. The school plotted an ambush, sending dozens of students to kill him. Musashi narrowly escaped, injured and humbled, but he learned a vital lesson: pride can blind you. Even the strongest mind must remain vigilant. Musashi didn't see this defeat as failure. Instead, he used it to fuel his discipline and prepare for the next challenge. He understood that failure is just a part of the journey to mastery. Throughout his life, Musashi remained fiercely disciplined, not just in battle, but in how he focused his mind. He trained tirelessly, but he also practiced the art of focus, eliminating distractions and honing his attention to a razor-sharp point. He believed that the mind, when properly trained, was far more powerful than any sword. Musashi once said, "You must understand that there is more than one path to the top of the mountain." In other words, mental mastery doesn't come from just one approach, it requires discipline, adaptation, and a relentless commitment to improvement. In today's world, filled with notifications, emails, and constant demands for our attention, Musashi's teachings are more relevant than ever. What distractions are keeping you from reaching your full potential? How can you sharpen your focus to cut through the noise? In the final years of his life, Musashi retired to a cave where he wrote his famous work, Dakoto, his 21 precepts for living. These precepts, like Musashi himself, are simple but profound. One of his precepts reads, "Do not fear death." Musashi lived with a fearless mindset, accepting that fear was a distraction that weakened the mind. Another precept states, "Do not seek pleasure for its own sake." Musashi believed that true strength came not from indulgence, but from discipline and restraint. These lessons weren't just for warriors, they were for anyone seeking to master their own mind and live with purpose. How many of us allow fear or the pursuit of pleasure to control our decisions? Musashi's precepts challenge us to rise above these distractions and live with clarity and focus. Musashi's story is not just about becoming the greatest swordsman, it's about becoming the master of your own mind. He knew that no sword could cut through a mind of steel. His victories came not from the sharpness of his blade, but from the clarity and discipline of his thoughts. In today's world, we face battles of our own, challenges that test our focus, our resilience, and our endurance. But Musashi's lessons still hold the key. If you can cultivate a mind of steel, one that is calm in the storm, focused amidst chaos, and resilient in the face of failure, there is no battle you cannot win. So ask yourself, are you ready to forge your mind like Musashi did? The path to mental toughness begins now. If this video inspired you to sharpen your mind and embrace Musashi's teachings, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video to stay on this journey with us. We explore lessons from legendary figures, modern warriors, and timeless philosophies to help you become mentally unstoppable. Join the limitless community and start forging your own mind of steel.